Hey, Ben, I'm back.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
Dude, it's me. It's Arvin.
Okay. I'm sorry, sir. I know Arvin, and you're not Arvin.
What are you calling me sir for? Dude, it's me. Come on. What is this, a joke?
Okay, I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but my friend Arvin, he's in India. And he's gonna be back soon, so...
But I'm here. I just got back.
Yeah, okay.
We've known each other since grade 9, man.
Okay, this isn't even funny anymore. Alright? Just... Okay, back off, buddy. Back off.
Ben, it's me. We like to podcast.
Okay, leave me alone! Seriously! Get away! Oh my god!
Hey everybody, welcome back with episode 18 of We Like to Podcast.
Look. Check it out.
I'm back.
Arvin's back.
Yeah. For those of you that didn't know, I was in India for 2 weeks and it was a really good trip.
It was good for me too, not having Arvin around for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm lying. I miss Arvin.
I know, I miss Ben too.
Yeah, but we're back, and it's been a while, but we're going to podcast.
Yes, and we're actually doing stuff.
Yes.
If any of you have checked out the website, you know that we've completely done a lot of work on it. I've done a lot of work on it. I was jet lagged when I came back, but I'm like, man, I've got so many ideas, and I pumped out a bunch of ideas, and so
I think the site's working great, and I think the proof is you guys are all over the message boards, and you're all over the map, which is amazing. I'm really glad that idea has been working out.
Yeah,
I think it's a really cool feature. I really think Arvin's done a bang-up job fixing all the little glitches and coming up with the layout and everything. I'm so happy with the way the website looks.
Yeah, and if you're one of those viewers that hasn't checked out the website or hasn't been to the website since like you first signed up a long time ago, we definitely think you should check it out. We've added a lot of interesting new features, one of which I'm actually going to kind of go over
Right.
Probably later on in the episode.
Right. New and improved.
Yes,
Right.
definitely. So for the time being, let's kick it off with our week in review.
Sounds good. I'm going to start off this week in review talking about a classic. The Sega Master System. I know some of you might be thinking, okay, what the heck's a Sega Master System? And it's a bunch of different names around the world, so you might notice something different. We'll get a picture up.
Mm-hmm.
Master System. So this was a system that came out about the same time as the NES system. It's the same generation, same kind of games. There's a lot of copy games back and forth between the two systems. The fact is that there are some really cool games that came out for this system that I'm really excited to see, and I hope they do transfer them over. Wonder Boy was a great one. There was a bunch of really neat shooting games like Gangster Town and all kinds of stuff. There's a whole bunch. That it's just nice to know that the Virtual Console is getting a lot more for it. Like, I'm still hoping Saturn.
Yeah.
Hoping.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got Neo Geo just recently, and now we're going to be getting the Master System. So this is a good step. More stuff for us.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Definitely. It's they can pretty much port every system over. It's
Pretty
physically
much
capable of handling processing any of that stuff.
We just still have our memory problem.
Yeah. Stupid Nintendo. See, we're not always pro Nintendo. They screw us over sometimes.
Well, every system screws someone over somehow.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't done a box art story since our original Resident Evil UK box art.
Right, which was a great box.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned that now. This is the third time we've mentioned it. We love that box. But yeah, Mario Kart Wii. It's the official box art. Most people think so. Looks pretty cool. It was pretty much the same thing that was out a while ago. It hasn't really changed much. But obviously the Mario Kart itself, Mario Kart Wii, which is apparently the unofficial name still. It's not official. There's a box art for it, which shows that it does come with the accessory that Reggie showed way back when.
Right.
Which I think is garbage, personally.
Really?
Yeah. The accessory really is just a piece of plastic. And it's, I mean, unless they make the game really give you a lot of feedback in terms of like the rumble and whatnot, I really don't see the benefit of having, I mean, like Excite Truck and all those other games, they, you know, a lot of third parties came out with relatively similar accessories. I don't see why this Nintendo one is anything special.
I'm wondering, and this is really hypothetical, I'm wondering if it's possible to put like weights in a steering wheel that react to turning, and it, I mean, obviously it wouldn't give you force resistance that like a real connected steering wheel controller would give you, but it might give you at least a sensation of going in directions.
Like, I would love it that it, like, if the rumbling would slowly get more get more intense, like the harder you go.
Even that would be awesome.
With some kind of feedback, which, you know, obviously we have no idea right now, so we'll leave our speculation to that.
Let's do that. Let's leave this.
So there's the box art for it. It's kind of cool.
A big box shows that there's stuff in it. Yeah. Okay. So Namco is blaming the Wii for arcade closures in Japan. So I really stumbled on that, Japan.
Yeah.
But point is that the Wii is so popular around the world, especially Japan, where there are a lot of systems floating around, that they're blaming Namco, saying that people are staying home playing video games because they're interactive instead of going to the arcades to play video games that are interactive. So pretty much everything we've been saying from the start and everything Nintendo's been saying from the start. Hey, go Wii. Way to bring a new level of gameplay.
Or a new level of laziness to the Japanese culture as they're adopting a more North American style of gameplay. It's kind of weird, yeah, because arcades would always still be the #1 major attraction to the gaming audience in Japan. And so this is kind of a huge thing for them.
Well, the thing, too, is one of the big things for arcades in North America are classic arcades. And now those are even starting to go away because not only does the Wii have the virtual console, but for every major system in the past 10 years, there's been a Namco museum and an Atari arcade museum, and all these games are now becoming available on the new systems.
Yeah, if you want to play Frogger, you don't have to go down to your classic arcade.
I seriously can't get enough of Joust. I don't think I will ever get enough of playing the game Joust. And hearing that cry of Pateri as he comes soaring in to kill you.
One game that I always wanted to play, but I never actually got around to was Qbert.
I think I have Qbert.
Do you?
With my Atari.
On your Atari?
Yeah, so we'll play it.
Yeah, I gotta come over and play Qbert.
Hopefully we'll have something to talk to you guys about. Arvin playing Qbert.
All right, so crazy news. You know, at the Chaos Communication Congress, they hacked the Wii, but another hacker has found an exploit in Zelda Twilight Princess, which allowed for the execution of native Wii code. So wild craziness. I guess the person's name, and I'm going to look at is Abi, is the hacker's name. Found an exploit in Twilight Princess, and I'm going to post the particular Twilight Princess discs that this affects. They have a listing of, you got to basically like flip the disc around and look on the inner ring, and if you've got the one disc that works, you can actually execute homebrew code on it. And they've got a video of a version of Pong that was written for the GameCube running natively in the Wii mode, but no controllers work at all. So really, it's just the game starts and it ends. So hey, I mean, like, good work for them, because they actually ran the game off of an SD memory card. Wow. So that's huge. Huge homebrew is coming, and I am so excited.
It's huge, and I want to know who has the time and patience to go through all that code to find these exploits.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, that's an achievement. And again, we're not saying yay hacking at all, but it's nice to know that people are out there being creative and really trying to find the limits of the system.
Yeah, I mean, we're totally not about playing copied games. That's just lame.
That's the worst part.
I'm about, like, but I love it that the fact that people can, like, maybe make a really good media center application for the Wii, so we can get a little bit more out of the system than.
Well, I mean, homebrew is something completely different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or people making their own games. That's just cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Absolutely. Okay, so talking about games, I have Guitar Hero 3. It's a fun game. I'm still waiting to hear back about getting a new disc and getting it stereo. But I'm kind of disappointed now because now Rock Band's coming out. It's official. Rock Band's coming out for the Wii, and I've played Rock Band at a friend's house just recently. And the guitar is really similar to Guitar Hero. Obviously, the same people who originally designed Guitar Hero had a lot to do with Rock Band.
And you can even use your old Guitar Hero.
Yeah, you can use your old Guitar Hero guitars. And so that plays a lot the same. And you've got the drums, which is the coolest part. And the singing is okay, and it's got some flaws in it, but the drumming is the best part. Like, I will buy the game just to play the drumming.
That's what amazing. I've heard. That is what I've heard.
It's fun. And I mean, if you really suck, you really suck. But if you have any talent whatsoever, you can learn to play it really well. And the drummer from I Know Karate, Bobby, I talked to him about it. He played the game. He played it on expert drums. And he's like, yeah, this is like playing the drums.
Oh, that's so cool.
He's like, this is really the same level of difficulty on expert as playing drums. I mean, obviously, there's a certain amount of leeway. When you're really playing drums, you get to do what you want, especially if you're a really good drummer like Bobby is. But on the game, you really have to hit the beats. You're stuck playing those beats, so it's not exactly like playing the drums. But he said it really is a good copy of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited. I don't think we have it. No date. Do we have a date?
No
date.
I don't think there's a date.
I think it's going to be a long time.
If there is, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome. Another huge game. That's saying, oh wait, we've got an install base of like millions of people. Let's make a game for it.
Really, I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you, if it's possible, make a game for the Wii with that many systems out there right now?
Although one thing that ticks me off right now, anywhere I go, like even my local Blockbuster, they've got boxes and boxes stacked of Rock Bands, but I can't find Guitar Hero 3 for the Wii anywhere.
No.
That just makes me angry.
Because it's still a fun game. Guitar Hero 3 is still a fun game. And if Guitar Hero 3 doesn't come up with downloadable content by the time Rock Band comes out, it's gone. Rock Band's going to just walk
annihilate
all over it.
Oh, completely.
The only thing that will save Guitar Hero 3 now is downloadable content.
Totally. So, as many of you know, Smash Brothers has officially been released over in Japan, and we're still waiting for ours, but in the meantime, we get all the fancy news and all the nice videos and screenshots and everything. But just one monumental note is the fact that in 2 weeks, it has sold over 1 million copies. It took Wii Fit a month to reach those numbers in Japan, and Smash Brothers did it in 2 weeks. One of the fastest selling games, just period.
It's remarkable.
Yeah,
is what it is. That's remarkable.
Yeah, no, the game looks fantastic. People, IGN, I read that they actually played the online stuff. They pitted themselves against one of their other offices. They said playback was smooth and fantastic. So we can only hope and wait until ours comes out.
Really, waiting. It's the waiting. Waiting's the hardest part.
It is. And for anything. I mean, lots of good movies coming out.
Petty said it. Petty said it.
Petty?
Tom Petty?
Did he?
Waiting's the hardest part.
That's true.
Waiting. It's late. Shut up.
Yeah, I know. We're shooting this episode extremely, extremely late today.
Segue. So we're talking about online gaming.
Yeah.
So Arvin's going to talk about different online gaming.
Yeah. So as I mentioned on the forums, in my recent blog post, if you check the website, which we encourage people to do again, I rented finally Medal of Honor Heroes 2, one of the 5 games on our list of 5 games to play. Right. So I can finally knock off that one, and Ben got a chance to play it as well.
That's part of why we're late.
Yeah. We were playing. So I'll give you my impressions of the game. Not really going to give you a full review because we haven't played it as much, but my impressions thus far. The game playback is so smooth. It almost always tops out at 60 frames a second. Every now and then, especially when it's loading and whatnot, there's always a teeny bit of stuttering, but smooth gameplay at 60 frames a second. Solid audio. The online play is so smooth. I noticed absolutely zero lag on my setup. Mind you, I'm with a really high speed cable connection at my house, but over the wireless, it didn't lag at all. We had like well over 16 people in the room at the at a time, and it supports up to 32. We still have to try it out. But from my impression thus far, it has been great with the game. The only minor qualms I have with it thus far is, from what I've read, the gameplay is still short. So just like Vanguard, it's going to be a short first-player experience. No two-player multiplayer in-house.
Yeah, I was all excited. I wanted to come over and Arvin and I could co-op something.
Vanguard, he and I took each other out, in the same room, but you can't do that.
You have to be on different systems with different games, and that's kind of silly.
Yeah, that's kind of silly. Also the other thing that I would say is bad is some of the textures in the game make it like really, really break the visuals. They look extremely low res, whereas some of them look really good, but then you get up to some stuff, it just looks really bad. A little bit of inconsistencies there, but overall, I'd say it's a really solid game, especially being the first really good online shooter. And the other major thing that I forgot to mention is the controls are awesome. I think that they really nailed the controls for myself. I haven't even tweaked them at all yet. I'm just running stock, and I still think that they're really fantastic.
A couple of things for me to say. I haven't played it nearly as much as Arvin, but I got a couple impressions myself. From seeing Arvin load up the online stuff, there's a lot of stuff EA has put in.
Yes. That
really gives hope for future online games. Right, like Arvin, I don't know if you want to...
Yeah, but basically, instead of using WeConnect 24's architecture, they use EA's, I forget what exactly it's called, but their online architecture that they're using for all their games now. So what you have to do is you have to register an account, and they send you emails and all that kind of stuff. But once you're in, it's really fast. It works really smooth based on what we've played so far, but also it allows you to add friends to your list, send messages within the architecture to your friends, see if your friends are online, and also just randomly chat with other people too. So there's a little bit more freedom compared to what Nintendo's been offering in their online WeConnect 24 stuff so far.
Well said, which is why I wanted him to say it, because I just kind of saw it. But the one thing for me was that it's... I don't know what to say other than... And it's kind of disappointing how short it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, it was the same thing with Vanguard. Vanguard was so fun.
It was really fun.
But it was over.
Yeah.
And then this one seems, again, so fun. But then if that's the case again... But luckily, this one comes with the online play. So that's really what's going to be the seller for it, is being able to go online and have a new experience every time with new people or the same people or whatnot. Yeah. So
they've also included an arcade mode, which is really an on-rails shooter, much like the House of the Dead series and stuff like that. Plus, they've also added a Wii Zapper-friendly mode so that you can change up your style of gameplay instead of having the nunchuck and the Wii Remote. In one hand, you get your Wii Zapper, and they've added a control scheme for that as well. So lots of little things is what really make this like a good title.
I'm going to interrupt just for a second and say, if any of you out there have it, write us a review.
Yes.
So we want to know what you guys think as well. We want you to be able to help us tell everyone else in more detail what you think of the game. And we have a couple of reviews on the website you can use as a template. Yep. Or you can do it on your own and come up with your own style or whatever, if you want to copy something from IGN or whatnot. We really want to try to encourage people to write reviews.
Yeah, and I actually want to single out somebody because he has written us a review as well as been a very avid poster on the forums and trying to really...
Among many.
Among many, yes, definitely. But he sent us a review as well as his own We Teach Use, and that is the user Ducks and Fish. And we just wanted to, give a little bit of recognition for the fact that he's really trying to go a little bit more above and beyond and actually get us, some extra content for the website. So we're going to be putting up his review of the DS web browser. We're going to be putting that up when this when this podcast comes out.
Right. I'm going to take it over to another game that I've already talked a little bit about, but I got it here with me. I brought Need for Speed Pro Street for Arvin to play, because he hadn't played it yet. And over the last couple days, I've managed to play a lot more of it than I had when I first got to talk about it. So I was just a few things about that one. controls in this game, it's completely turned controller style. You're tilting it back and forth for your steering. Your 2 buttons, your gas. Your 1 button's your brake. Like, it really is. Very few times in the game are you holding the Wii remote like a remote. You're holding it like a controller 90% of the time, which takes getting used to. The whole game takes a lot of getting used to as far as controls. But once you do, it does feel smooth. Not to say that it feels like really driving a race car like any more than the old Need for Speed games do, but it really does add a new dimension to it. As far as the layout of the game, and that's the one thing that took me the most time to get used to, the last couple of Need for Speeds were really similar. And they really had the similar kind of ways to mod your cars and the way the races were set up. And this one is really different. It's really confusing at first. I really found it confusing at first.
Yeah, when I played it today, I was definitely getting a little confused and I'm kind of frustrated at times. And I understand where that comes from when you're first starting out.
Absolutely, and that's exactly how I felt, especially coming from... It's a Need for Speed game. You'd figure they'd all kind of be similar. But once you do play it for a while, and this is what I would suggest, play it for a while, it's not nearly as complicated as it initially looks. It's easy to figure out. And once you start getting into it, it's actually a lot of fun. It is a really fun game. I would really recommend it to anyone who's looking for a good racer. The storyline is a little cheesy, but all the Need for Speed storylines are a little cheesy. It's really about the cars. It's really about driving. And the visuals are solid. And that's really all I have to say.
Well said, though, I think.
Thank you.
I guess there was one game that I actually wanted to talk about. Just something that we'd found out just recently. We'd mentioned, I think a while ago, that Spielberg, Steven Spielberg, was coming out with a game in cooperation with EA.
Are we going to put pictures up or a video?
Yeah, I'm going to put the video up, and it's called a Boom Blox. The game trailer, from what we've seen so far, make it look pretty interesting.
Yeah. Basically,
from what I can see, is you get these different scenarios where you have to almost Jenga your way into accomplishing goals or destroying blocks,
but with explosions.
But yeah, massive explosions in an environment where everything is made up of blocks and completely customizable as well. They allow you to build your own things. I think in a way, in a very small way, it's kind of similar to Little Big Planet for the PS3. Almost as a direct competition too, in the way that it's an environment where you get to completely customize it, build it, and immerse yourself in it, as well as follow the traditional gameplay that they're trying to put in. So that would be my initial take on what it looks like to me.
To me, it looks very cartoony. Looks like it could be very juvenile, but it also looks fun. And I mean, something like Raving Rabbits, which was very juvenile, a lot of fun. Something like Zack and Wiki, which was meant to be very juvenile, people love. I mean, that's another one that we haven't tried yet, that we just keep hearing over and over and over again that people love that game, so we want to try that one out. I'm excited for this game. I really am.
Yeah, it looks pretty interesting, so just wanted to, I guess that's one of the up-and-coming games that we wanted to feature. I guess I got one other thing I want to talk about, and that's really the website. So one of the main new features that we've added is the ability for everybody to share their friend codes for individual games. Just wanted to give you a brief overview of how that's done if you're just kind of really confused. I know I talked about it a little bit in the blog, but it's really easy to do, and we're going to kind of just take you through it right now. Consider this my very short We Teach You for this particular episode. And
I'm here too.
Yeah, he's here. We're not cutting away except for over the top of us. But really all you have to do is once you're logged in to your account, on the right-hand side of the menu, there is a little drop-down box that says you can create content. And this is where you can create your forum post. But now you'll also see that there is a Create Friend Codes. So if you click on the Create Friend Codes, you basically get a selector box that allows you to choose the game that you want to enter the friend code for, and then the friend code itself. And then so once you enter that information in, just hit submit, and that's it. It's over. you've submitted the content for that game, and you'll be taken directly to that game's page.
3 steps.
3 steps.
That's as easy as that.
Yeah. Log in, click, submit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool feature. We're hoping to improve upon it as well, and get more games once more games come out, and hope that everybody enjoys like sharing their friend codes with everybody else that's a member of the We Like to Podcast.
Think about it. Look at the map and see where people are all around the world. You could be playing with people from around the world. That you are part of this We Like to Podcast community.
Yeah, we like the fact that it's starting to become a little bit more like a community, and I know that over the past 2 weeks we've really been participating on the forums and blogging a lot more.
Trying.
Yeah.
But we are both very busy.
Yes.
I'm currently in midterms.
Today was the first day of my new job. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and yesterday was my first midterm. So
wow.
Hope
that went well.
Yeah, I think it did.
Oh, awesome.
Let's hope. But I got more next week, and then a week of March break where I have essays due the week after and more tests. So this is a really crazy time period. But I just want to leave off with one last thing before we go to our finale.
Oh, what's that?
Logos.
Oh, yeah.
Logos. There's one definitely that we're going to send an email to you that we really, really liked, that we really want to use for something. And then there's another possibility that we're thinking of. But there's at least one that we've come to somewhat of a conclusion about. We still have to do a lot of work behind that, but it's still something that's going on. It's still something that we have happening. And if anyone's new and you haven't submitted something and you really want to, I guess you still can.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. What we're going to do is... do something with the logo. We're going to actually make something out of the logo, and the particular person who we choose, we're going to give you something for free.
Yeah, oh, totally.
And that's what it's going to come down to. That's the whole contest aspect. But it's still in process. We didn't forget, and I know I'm really lazy, and I haven't emailed the people I'm supposed to email, and I hope I will get to you, and I hope I will get to it. But consider this a mass reply. That we've gotten all your logos. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much.
We haven't brushed them aside. They're still important. We just had a lot of other things come up. And hopefully by next podcast, we'll have a little more information.
Right. So without further ado, let us bash the PS3. So, kind of funny news. You know how I was talking about the fact that the new 40 gig PS3 is sans the emotion chip. The emotion engine is gone. So hardware based backwards compatibility with PS2 games is completely gone.
That is funny, actually.
Yeah, and of course the 80 gig PS3 is software emulating PS2 compatibility. Well, now they're giving you. They've taken away the ability to really play PS2 games on your 40 gig PS3, but they're letting you play it by buying their online gaming content. See, the basic thing that they're doing is they're taking their old games, they are improving on them, or so they say, up in the graphics and all that kind of stuff. But then now you have to pay. We're assuming upwards in the range of $10 to $15 to rebuy games that you probably already own but can't play on your brand new 40 gig PS3.
Right.
I don't really quite see the merit in that. It's I can some people would argue to say that Nintendo's doing the same thing, but you can't fit an SNES cartridge into the Wii.
Well, not just that, but we're talking about past generations here. You can stick a GameCube game into the Wii,
exactly,
and it plays.
And you can stick a PlayStation 2 disc into the Blu-ray disc drive, and I'm sure it can read it. So what's the deal there? I mean, that's money gouging for the sake of money gouging.
Well, I mean, they had to save money somewhere to make the system cheaper. The one thing I want to bash the PS3 about this week is really something I think is kind of funny we overlooked. And that's just how damn ugly it is.
You mean the George Foreman grill-esque look to it? Yeah.
It's just, really, if you take a good... I hope we can put a picture up.
Oh, yeah.
If you take a good long look at this thing, there's nothing sexy about this system. No. There's nothing sleek. There's nothing pretty about it. I think the Wii is pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, for nothing else, just how small it is.
Yeah.
It's neat,
aesthetically
sleek little
pleasing.
thing.
Yeah. It just looks a hell of a lot
Even
nicer.
the Xbox 360 has an interesting design to it.
Mm-hmm. It looks a lot like the Dell Optex series cases. If you ever look, there's a particular series of Dell cases for their computers that they put out back maybe 3 or 4 years ago. They look identical.
Do we do a split screen?
If I can find pictures, I'm split screening them right now.
If not, imagine a split screen.
To how the Xbox 360 looks. So I thought that was pretty funny too. But you're right. It does look a lot nicer.
I mean, yes. That's my point. It's ugly.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for joining us.
I'm Arvin.
And I'm Ben.
Thanks for watching We Like to Podcast.